Hello Simmers, I'm Amber and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're just doing another speed build. Today I'm working on a Victorian house. I got a picture, like inspiration, off of just Google Images. I think I just searched something like Victorian house, whatever. I'm really into Victorian style houses, and with the vampire pack we actually got a whole bunch of Victorian style furniture that worked really well with this build, so I wanted to use a whole bunch of that. Yeah, the actual outside building was pretty easy. It didn't take me very long because I knew exactly what I wanted it to look like. It kind of has this round window part in the front there, and then yeah, it's like pretty much just an L shape, and then it has that one like really tall tower. Yeah, I don't know, it was pretty easy. I worked a lot with like the crown molding around the side, you can see here, just to give it a little bit more detail. The hardest part I would say about building this was probably the windows, because I didn't want to put too many windows in, but if you don't put enough, it doesn't look bright enough. And yeah, that was a struggle, trying to get enough windows so that it looked good. And I did build this in the Forgotten Hollow town that came with vampires, but I didn't want it to be really spooky. I actually wasn't really sure what I wanted it to look like when I had started building. The original picture, it does look really creepy and kind of haunted, but the more I started building this, the more I want it to look not so like, sorry if you can hear my cat purring, she's just, I haven't spent very much time with her today, and now she's sitting on my lap because she wants to hang out with me. I didn't want it to look really like run down and old. I just wanted it to look as if like if you were living in the Victorian era and your house was like brand new. I want it to look kind of like that, where it's not old. Like, it looks antique to us because like no one builds their houses like these days really. But I want it to look new if you lived in that Victorian era, if that makes any sense. Yeah, right now we're just picking out some doors. I had a little bit of difficulty with the porch. I wasn't sure what I wanted to look like, and with the posts I had a little bit of a hard time spacing them properly. And the windows, I didn't want it to be too repetitive, like on the top, on that tower thing. And yeah, it's actually not even usable. I really wish we had what are they called, spiral staircases, because then you could actually use these rooms and you could have like painting or like a little library or something up in those spots. But for now, it's wallpapered, it's got flooring and a light, but there's no furniture, and I couldn't fit stairs up in there, which is unfortunate. But if you download this house from the gallery, which it is already posted to the gallery, my origin ID is SweetheartSims. If you check that out on the gallery, you'll be able to download it. You might be able to figure out a way to use those rooms, but for me, I couldn't be bothered to figure it out. And you can see I'm having a lot of back and forth with how the siding is. I was gonna make it green because I thought this green color looked really nice. And I went back and forth, and I had it gray for a really long time, and then eventually, once I was doing the gardens and I was putting a bunch of the lavender flowers out front. I thought they were lilacs for a while, but they're lavender flowers, like lavender bushes. So once I had a whole bunch of those going, I was like, oh, maybe I'll call it like Lavender Victorian or something, which I think is what I'm gonna name this one. I think that's what it is on the gallery, so yeah. I decided to go with that, and then I just changed all the siding to be lavender as well. Yeah, all white window frames, which looks really nice and clean and bright against the purple siding whenever that gets changed, which is probably really close to the end. I did cut out a bunch of footage from this. This build actually took me so long. I was working on it for, I think, 2 weeks on and off because I was getting really discouraged. I couldn't get it to look the way I wanted it to look. Like I said, the outside didn't take me that long, but the inside, I don't know. I don't really build houses this big anymore. If I'm gonna build a house that's really big, like for a family or something, I don't even build it. I just download it from the gallery. Someone else has built it, and then I can furnish it. And if I have a family in mind, it's a lot easier to furnish. But for this one, I had a bit of a hard time because I wasn't really sure like what kind of family would live here. So it took a lot of like back and forth and trying to figure it out. And I feel like it might not have as much character as it should for a Victorian home, but I gave it my best shot, I think. And yeah. The kitchen, I tried to keep it pretty traditional with the traditional cupboards and cabinets, counters, that kind of stuff. And I did add a wood stove and like the old antique refrigerator as well to give it a little bit more character in that sense. So there's a little like island area with some stools that we add in later, and then in that bigger open space in the kitchen we add a dining room as well. So you can have a formal dining or you can just sit at the stools. Depends on what your Sims are into. Yeah, and I really like that wood stove that we add in, and this little icebox fridge thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of this build. I think that I would probably tweak a few things if I were going to use it, just because I feel like I would give the bedrooms a little bit more character. There are 3 bedrooms in this house. One is the master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom, which I think it turned out really nice. And then there's like a teen girl bedroom that's really pink and girly. And then there's a really small little room that we use as a child's room, I believe. I don't think it's a toddler. I think it's a child's room. This one is going to be the teenage girl's room that you just saw, which we work on a little bit later. But yeah, this build took me a really long time. Like I said, I kept getting discouraged. I was like, I don't know if I'm really feeling this. So I kept like closing the game, coming back to it, closing it, coming back to it, over the span of about 2 weeks. And I would decorate for like maybe like an hour, and then I would delete a whole bunch of stuff and come back to it, which made editing a big pain in the butt because I had to like edit so much and cut so much footage out. And I cut out most of the landscaping, which I didn't think was that interesting anyways. Pretty much repetitive all around the house with gardens, the daisies, lilac, and there are a bunch of pauses like that. That just happened because I don't know, I would get really bored, and then I would just like go on my phone for a little while, and then I'd be like, oh, still recording, and then I have to go back. So I cut out most of it. Most of the long pauses are cut out, but if there are some shorter ones in there, that's why. Just because I don't know, got bored through recording or got bored through building, and I guess I forgot to cut a bunch of them out. I really like the beds that came with the vampire pack, though. I hadn't really used any of them yet, but I did really like them. I think I'm gonna do like an artist loft, or maybe like a really modern loft as my next build. I have another build on the go as well that I was building before this one, which I think I've talked about before. It's like a little yellow house, but I don't know. Like last week I was feeling really uninspired, which is why I had a lack of videos. I've been trying to upload every day, but it was my final week of school, so I had like exams and midterms and whatever, and then I had reading week, and I think the week that I uploaded a whole bunch of stuff was my reading week, and I was just getting really stressed out because I had placement coming up. And then so all last week I had placement, which was actually really awesome. I'm for those of you who don't know, I think I mentioned this in another video, but I'm currently going to college to become an early childhood educator, which is basically someone who works in like daycares and kindergarten classrooms, that kind of stuff. So I'm in my very last semester. I'm graduating this summer, and so I'm in one of my last placements, which is where they send you off to like an actual daycare or kindergarten classroom where you work with the teachers there, and it's like a hands-on learning experience. So I didn't get to do placement in September when all my other classmates got to do it. This is like a big long story. Okay, so my husband and I used to live in Toronto, I'm from Canada, so Toronto's like the capital of, I think, Ontario. So it's a really, really big city. We used to live in a part of Toronto, and I went to school there for my first year of early childhood education. And then my husband got offered a job in the Niagara region, which is close to the border, the U.S. border, near Buffalo, I think, is on the other side in the U.S. So my husband got offered a job in this area, which is actually like my hometown. So we moved back last summer, and we lived with my mom for a couple months so that we could find a apartment of our own. And then we found one in the summer, and so I had to switch colleges. I was originally going to a college in Toronto, and then I had to switch, and now I go to a college in Niagara. So when I switched, I didn't have my like police background check or like my health stuff up to date, according to Niagara College's policies, which were different from my other policies at my previous college. So it was just a big pain in the butt, and it was so stressful. So I didn't get to do placement in the September semester because I didn't have my forms ready in time. So that means that placement got pushed to this semester, which we're now in the winter semester, and now I have to do my like placement from winter semester in like the spring semester. So all my placements are pushed like a semester ahead, which sucks because like I'm behind now. So I'm going to graduate like a semester later than everyone else. Anyways, all that to say that now I am starting my placement 3, which I was supposed to do last term, but I haven't done placement now for like a year, so I was really, really stressed. But it's going awesome. I am in a kindergarten classroom, which is just a 2-minute drive from my house. So like I can leave like 5 minutes before I have to be there, and I get there with time to spare still. It's awesome. The teacher that I work with is super, super nice. All the kids are awesome. It's a huge kindergarten classroom because it's like 2 kindergartens, which are like together because like the classroom's big enough. They separate for some things, for certain like activities, but most of the time they're together. So I work with a group of 36 kindergartners, and there are how many staff? There are 2 kindergarten teachers, 1 ECE, an education assistant, usually another teacher, and myself. So like 5 or 6 teachers, like adults in the room at all times. So I mean 36 kindergartners is like a lot of people, like a lot of children, but we have a lot of adults as well, so it doesn't get that bad. The kids are really, really awesome. I don't think we really have any like behavioral issues at all. But yeah, obviously I'm not allowed to talk a whole lot about that, but I can say that they are fantastic, and I just finished my first week of placement, and now I'm actually on March break, which you don't really get in college, but because I'm in a kindergarten classroom and they are with the school board, I get March break, which I didn't know I was going to get. So now I have this whole week off, and I'm hoping to get a bunch of recording done. I mean, like today I had nothing to do, so I recorded a bunch of videos. Tomorrow I have to drive my brother to a basketball thing at night, but like during the day I have nothing to do. And then I think Friday I'm meeting up with a friend in Oakville, which is a town not that far from here. But I don't see her very often. She's from the university that I used to go to in Toronto. So I will hopefully get a bunch done this week. That's the plan anyways, but we'll see how that goes. Anyways, back to the build. We are currently working on the child's room. I knew it was a child wow, I cannot talk. I knew it was a child's room. I thought about doing a toddler, but I think I did a toddler in my last build or in my teen mom build. So like too many toddler rooms, right? Should just do a child room. So that's what I did. I put this little Victorian dollhouse you can see in the like upper entryway right there. I really wanted to put it in the child's room, but it didn't fit, but I thought it looked really cute there. I was really excited when I remembered that they actually had a Victorian style house in The Sims, like a dollhouse. So I wanted to include that. The porch, I'm not too happy with the way the back deck and the front porch turned out. I wish that I'd done a little bit more with it, but honestly, this build was just a lot going on, and I don't know, I guess I wasn't prepared for it. I really wanted to do like a big build like this, but then like once I got going, I was like, oh my gosh, this is taking so long, and I wasn't a fan of a lot of the furniture that was in here. So it was really, really tempting not to use CC because I knew that I could make it look way nicer with CC, but I also knew that you guys would not be able to download it if it had CC in it, which is unfortunate. I think I've already gotten a couple of downloads on this. I uploaded it to the gallery maybe 3 hours ago, and someone had downloaded it pretty much right away. So if you just search my name, it'll come up. It should be actually highlighted in my profile, so if you go there, it should come right up. And if you follow me, then you'll get notifications every time I post things. I don't really like that many other people's things, I don't think, because I know that's really annoying. I follow a couple people on the gallery, but honestly it just gets kind of annoying when you get notifications every single time they like something or comment on something. You get a notification about it. Like, that's not why I follow people. I follow people so that I get notifications when they post, but I don't even think that happens because I haven't gotten like any notifications about this one person I post. I just get notifications when they like other things, which is like not what I follow them for. Anyways, we're working on the gardens now, so we're getting near the end of this video. I think I just show like bits and pieces of the garden. So I tried to keep it pretty simple. I stuck with these pink wildflowers, the pink azaleas, the lavender / lilac bushes, and the what else is in here? The hydrangea bushes in the pink, and I used these like daisy coverings everywhere, those ones, so that I don't know, just kind of like covered, and there was no like dirt or grass showing through, because I wanted to make it look really nice and full. And here I am just brightening it up a little bit because the grass in Forgotten Hollow is really dark. I wanted to make it a little bit lighter and brighter, and so if you put this in a different world, you might want to change the grass. If I was actually going to play this in Forgotten Hollow, I would change the grass back, but I would probably place it in like, I don't know, Willow Creek or something, so that the grass matched. So we have little monkey bars back here for your child, and we are pretty much done the build. We are almost onto the screenshots. Yep, just adding some terrain paint, making it look a little bit more realistic, and then we throw a couple different flowers in these planter boxes here. I love using these planter boxes. I think I use them every one of my builds. Alright, screenshots. Here is, I think this is the upper bathroom, dining room, the kitchen. I love that little pastry dish. More of the dining room, and I really, really like that little like thing where you put the dishes too. More of the kitchen, which I feel like came out kind of boring, but oh well. I thought I had more stuff on the walls. Oh well. This is the front of the house. Love the gardens. This is the living room / sitting room. The office with an easel and a bookshelf. More of the office. More of the living room with you can see the entry to the office there. This is a overview of the house with a little wishing well. In the corner there you can see more zoomed out. And this is the kids' room. Super cute. More of the kids' room. Another overview. I love the way the gardens turned out. I think they looked really, really nice. This is the master bedroom. This is the backyard. More of the backyard. And this is the teen room. So there are a couple more screenshots. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!